Here with Northwestern State head coach Chris Bertrand, the Demons are going to see a lot of arrival this week in a very interesting four-game week. Tuesday night at home against Louisiana Tech, and then 3 in Ruston against the Bulldogs. And Coach, can you remember a time where you've played a team in such a different setting, which a midweek is a different setting than a weekend series?
Who knows, man? Like, it's hard to probably think about it, but I mean, I'm sure in all of our careers we've done some things that seem a little bit unorthodox, but nonetheless of the setup, proud to be able to do it. Proud to continue to be able to take the team that we do have and go compete against, again, such a quality opponent. And then in the unique situation we have with it being Coach Burrows and Coach Gaspard and the relationships that we all have, and the players and the friendships that we all share. I mean, a very unique setup, a very unique situation, but nonetheless proud to be able to do it, excited about it, and looking forward to it. It always means so much to both programs. It means so much to both universities. It means so much to both cities. And so to be able to do it with all of the fun things that do surround it, it doesn't matter how unique it is, man. We're just excited to get back out there.
Well, one who will probably be more excited than most, it's going to be a very interesting setup for Kevin Robinson, whose father, Daniel, played at Louisiana Tech. He will pitch against Louisiana Tech Tuesday night. But again, you saw for the second straight outing against UL Lafayette last Wednesday, a young man that continues to grow outing by outing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a great representation of the program and where we're at and what we want to continue to do, right? We're excited about giving Kevin the baseball because we're excited about seeing what step number 3 of that growth is. We're excited to give it to him because we feel like he's earned it, right? He earned the opportunity that he got early on. He earned the start against Lafayette, and the start against Lafayette earned him the opportunity this week. I think he represents and embodies what it is we're trying to get our team to do, and that is continue to compete, continue to take whatever it is that you have as your strengths and go out there and be on the attack, and continue to grow and get better with each outing. You know, we talked last week and we still hold the same things true in the fact that regardless of the stuff that he's going to roll out, he's going to be in attack mode, he's going to pay attention to the details of the game, and he's going to show some intangible things that we're trying to build and stack bricks within the program. And so again, a really cool set of circumstances in the way that Kevin and his family and the two programs get to enjoy that in which you mentioned. But at the same time, we have no problem handing him the baseball because we understand that what we're trying to build right now and the spot that we're at, Kevin embodies those characteristics. And so we're happy for him, we're proud of him, and we want to see what he's going to go out and do.
I'm sure his demeanor, I mean, he seems very calm, very collected, kind of very even-keeled, is going to help in a situation where emotions can play a role. Hey, you're facing your dad's alma mater. You probably grew up watching a lot of Tech games. You probably saw a lot of Tech, heard a lot of Tech baseball.
Absolutely.
But he's wearing purple and white right now, so he's not worried about that. But those, again, being able to control those emotions, anytime big for a pitcher, especially in this moment.
Yeah, and that's one of those tests, right? And if he's able to do that and do it well, which we have the confidence that he is, then what can he take in learning from that and use it later on? Use it later on in other starts this year or other moments this year. What can he do to use that in his career? As hopefully a guy like him and many others have big moments in their career. And so a learning opportunity for him and a learning opportunity for the entire baseball team. And so no doubt about it, man. We think that, again, with where we are and what we're trying to build, and you mentioned demeanor, right? Like that's a big part of it. Kevin's a guy that competes in the strike zone, and he has to this point. We think that he's going to do the same exact thing. And so for us to try to maybe fix getting away from some of those self-inflicted wounds, sharpening the things that we need to sharpen and cleaning up the things that we do, we feel like Kevin does that. And so it's a tremendous thing for him, but it's a tremendous learning opportunity for our entire ball club as we do it with new guys, or continue to do it with new guys, and again, continue to do it against an unbelievably quality caliber opponent.
You're going to face that quality opponent 3 more times in Ruston, which, again, we talk about different setups, and we know what the Bistro is in terms of how it plays. The Love Shack plays much different, very similar to the venue you were just at Little Rock. And when you look at it, didn't give up, big home runs, didn't give up a lot of extra base hits. kind of death by a thousand cuts on the Sunday doubleheader, but the bullpen in that Sunday doubleheader, I think 8 1/3 or 9 1/3 scoreless innings, steps forward again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And man, every time we do this, we continue to talk about learning. What a great thing it was for us to learn from 1 week to the other against UL Lafayette. What a great experience it was for us to learn against a team like Little Rock, against in an offensive ballpark, right? So forth and so forth and so forth. And so, listen, when we talk about learning, when we talk about pulling value out of every one of the opportunities that we have, when we talk about continuing to be proud of the fight and the competitiveness that the ball club shows and working on those learning, or that learning allowing us to clean up the execution part of it, we mean it, right? We mean it, and it's another one to do. So you're exactly right with all of those statements. We recognize all of those things, and we're excited to be able to put it into action. And once again, we know the challenge. Like, we know that it's not going to get any easier. We know how difficult it is. We know what our program is starving for right now, and we're just going to keep chopping wood, man. We're just going to keep chopping wood, and we hope that regardless of what happens, we're going to learn and get better, and it's going to be lessons that we can use for the second half of the season. It's going to be lessons that we can use for the conference portion of the season. It's going to be lessons we can continue to use as we build the program. And so, again, man, we are just really thrilled to be able to recognize all of those circumstances and those learning opportunities, and then be able to put it to use right now.
And it's the same thing offensively, that the first weekend the offense was there, the pitching wasn't. It's kind of flipped the last 5 or 6 games, but that's what's going to happen in a 56-game season. You're going to have ups and downs, so learning to battle through that for guys, many of them who are doing it the first time at this level.
Complementary baseball is something that we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, because you're exactly right? We know that we continue to believe. We have a belief that we have everything we need to compete, and we have everything we need to win baseball games. And to this point, us not being able to do that at the degree that we want to, we feel like has been a lack of complementary baseball. We have to get to the point to where the offense and the pitching and the defense are all complementing each other. You have to get to the point to where all phases of the offense are maybe complementing each other, which right now what we're talking about is, I think we've done a good job in creating offensive opportunity. We haven't in the last week or so, in the last 5 games or so, done as good of a job in cashing in on those opportunities. And so again, we continue to work our tails off. We continue to fight and scratch and claw. We continue to draw some walks and get some HBPs and get some hits. We continue to run the bases with great aggression. Right now, we're just having a problem cashing in on those opportunities to score. And so we recognize it. We're going to continue to work on it. But complementing all phases of the game, and within each one of those phases being complementary. You mentioned it a while ago, where the bullpen and the starting pitching complementing each other, right? Yeah, absolutely. And so we know that right now we are in search of complementary baseball. We're working our tails off to be able to get it. And we, again, believe that once we're able to find it, we think that maybe some of the scores at the end of the game are going to turn our way. But in cleaning up the execution and trying to find consistent complementary baseball, we're just going to keep chopping wood at it, man.
Coach, as always, thanks for your time.
Fork 'em Demons.